Where are we? Here we are. Got the hand sanitizer. Hello. Welcome to a very unusual edition of Sweet and Sour. In isolation. This is what we have to do. Yep. Have you done it? Yep. Usual, you know how to do it. 20 seconds, sing happy birthday, all that sort of thing. Joining us tonight for the very first Zoom Sweet and Sour episode, all the way from Melbourne, Ms. Megabyte, Yvonne Adele is with us. Bid all the way from sunny Esperance in Western Australia. Yeah, having a lovely time today. Well, we in Perth have got rain. Who else is in Perth with us today? Deanna Cooney's here. She's going to be chatting with us through the three letters we've got for you tonight. And ever faithful Harry Bozin is with us. Actually, we'll give Harry a break too. We won't even ask him about how the market's doing, because guess what? I think we all know. We'll have to bring him back for another episode to work out how the market's going, because we might be through this a little further. Hold on, grab your hand sanitizer and something to eat, a cup of tea and whatever else you like, because, baby, it's time for Sweet and Sour. Thanks for joining us.
Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
How's about some chili?
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
Yeah.
Hey, here we are. This is our very first Zoom in captivity Sweet and Sour edition. How's everybody doing? Mega, all the way from Melbourne, welcome.
Yes, thank you very much. I would like a little bit of your sunshine, but other than that, I'm doing well.
You haven't seen our weather today, have you? Unfortunately. But I can tell you where the sunshine is fantastic, isn't it, Bid? All the way in Esperance, Western Australia.
It's beautiful, and please don't anyone tell me about COVID-19, because we're still binge watching COVID-18 down here. So I don't know how it ends, okay?
H, where are you?
Downtown Albany.
Oh, man.
It's fantastic. It's
across the breadth
down
of Western
with rain.
Australia and across the nation of Australia. Here we are.
That's
Deanna,
it.
where are you? Are you the only one in Perth?
I think so. Like, apart from you, I think that's it.
No, I'm in Midland. That's a very different part of Perth.
Oh,
Anyway, never mind.
true. I was in Midland last night, and it literally is a place entirely of its own. My gosh, everyone there is just so Midland.
You managed to find some people.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing really well. Doesn't matter where I
It's
go.
not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world, but you can see it from there.
I look out my door now and I can see the tumbleweeds just blowing down the street.
I reached the last page of the internet today, so I'm really bored.
Oh, coping all right. Thumbs
Touche.
up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways. Thumbs up for Harry. Thumbs up for Bid. Thumbs up for Mega. All right, everybody's ready. We've even got Travis waiting in the wings somewhere out there. Travis, are you there? Travis is going to be intermittently joining us. Here he comes. Drum roll. There's
Travis! Woo-woo.
Hey,
Travis has got our Your Say segment.
Yo, Travis.
Yo,
Travis.
apparently. Apparently. All right, we'll speak to Travis shortly. Here we go with letter number one. It comes to us from Despine, the nice good girl of Randwick in New South Wales. Hi, Sweet and Sour. I finally have time to write to you. Frankly, I don't think we're going to make it. I'm not talking COVID-19 because I know we'll have this under wraps in a little while. I'm talking the long-term survival of the human species. Just a happy letter to start with. We don't seem to even face the notion in any real sense. Well, why should we have to? Okay, I'll shut up. I have all these idiots telling me that humans are threatening the life of the planet. It's a wonderful thing to be pondering while you're in lockdown. Humans are threatening the life of the planet. We aren't. The planet doesn't care. Neither do I, frankly, but that's another thing entirely. It's our own lives. We threaten the lives of every other species on the living planet. The planet doesn't care. Humans have only been around for approximately 2 million years in one form or another. Dinosaurs roamed here for 165 million years dying out because of a cataclysmic meteor event 65 million years ago. Thank you, Despine, for the history lesson. The coronavirus has shown how vulnerable we are, and yet it has a death rate of only 3%. If we unleash something more virulent, it's over, baby. So what do? Now that the world has become a much smaller place, and let's face it, it's the universal travel phenomenon that has created the COVID pandemic, do we stop the globalisation push, stop travelling? Heavens knows we are the most unhealthy generation of people ever. Do you think we can go on like this, or even at all, forever? As I said, Despine of Randwick, New South Wales. Bid, such a happy little letter coming to us all the way from Randwick. Are we on Doom's door?
Look, Despine, first of all, I actually agree with so much of what you said, and I don't care about your age, your marital status, or your sexual orientation. I want to marry you because you're the only person who's sort of said this stuff out loud. There's no problems at my end. My wife would be delighted. In fact, she loves COVID-19 because I have to wear a mask, and she insists maybe it'd be a good idea if I wore a mask a lot of the time, preferably one that looked like George Clooney. Anyway, my point is this: no, we're actually not going to survive, but that's okay. We're just another species.
We're just another species.
We're just another species. We're pretty warlike, we're profligate, we're short-sighted, we're wasteful, we're pretty careless with our abundance. So eventually we'll go.
Disappear like every other one.
Now, when you say that, I totally agree that we're not threatening the planet. We are, however, threatening habitation on the planet. That's a totally different question. In fact, some scientists reckon that 150 to 200 species, that's plants, animals, mammals, whatever, are disappearing every 24 hours. That's about 1,000 times the natural background. So we're lousy tenants.
Every 24 hours?
Every 24 hours, yeah.
That's appalling.
Of course, who misses the dung beetle? Just saying.
Have any come back in the last 6 weeks?
The only slight disagreement I have with you, and I'll be serious for a moment, is I follow a Native American religion and have for decades. So I actually believe the Earth does care, but everything else, I think that exactly as you said, the coronavirus has shown us how vulnerable we are in terms of our health. It's also shown us how fragile our political, geopolitical, capitalism, consumerism. It's only taken 4 to 6 weeks, and some of the biggest economies in the world are kind of teetering. So
Come on in, Mega.
We will go, but that's okay.
I'm thinking, how do you pronounce it again? Despine? Is that how you pronounce it, Gary? And the Greek lord?
I'm Greek.
Despine.
Despine, I think,
Don't be rude about my wife.
It's getting a little bit bored, having not been able to attend any Greek Easters with 40,000 of her local cousins. But I think, she said, not Australians, humans have only been around for how many years? 2 million years.
2 million years, as opposed to dinosaurs, 165 million, they made.
Okay. So this is what I was thinking. If it's humans' turn now, then what you're actually saying is if dinosaurs had 165 million years and we've had 2 million, we've got 163 million years to go. So what are you worried about? Just because you couldn't do Greek Easter with 4,000 of your local cousins doesn't mean that you should be sitting there worrying about whether we are wrecking the planet or not. And the final question really got me because you said, should we stop traveling? Should we stop this globalization? And I thought to myself, perhaps not we, but you, Despine, could stop traveling because you would be the last person I would want to be stuck next to on a plane. And when you said, if we unleash something that's worse than coronavirus, made me think you've got some inside knowledge about whether this virus was unleashed or caught accidentally.
Deanna?
Oh my word.
Dinosaurs haven't been around. Dinosaurs weren't Zooming. Dinosaurs weren't using cars. Dinosaurs weren't watching TV.
I'm with, look, I reckon that Despina might be one of those people that think that this thing was made up. This virus was made up. Like, seriously, there's a whole bunch of people out there that think this was like manufactured somewhere and then released, like, you know, it was done on purpose to us. Well, yeah, I don't want to sit next to you on an airplane either. That'd be the most depressing, horrible ride of my entire life, you know? And I'm not really keen on like backing the whole conspiracy kind of process, you know? I think it's a little bit crazy. This letter is just full of a whole bunch. I'm literally looking at the letter right now, and it's just full of a whole bunch of like conjecture. And what if this happens? And what if this happens? Well, what if none of it happens? What if it goes completely differently?
And the syntax is pretty bad too.
That's awful.
Talking about the woman I love, Matt. Come on.
Come on, Ace.
Hey, do you
final
know
word.
what? I'm a celebrant. I could marry you guys.
I'm a
I'll be
celebrant too.
respectful.
Celebrant.
Are you?
I'll
Yeah,
be
except he does
respectful.
funerals.
You can't marry yourself.
I'll be respectful to Bid. I just want to see the guy that in millions of years' time finds in a sandstone. Look, it's a Ferragamo. They were wearing these all those years ago.
Oh man.
Oh my God! Look, I think that she needs to take a chill pill, and basically everybody's covered already, even beautifully, apart from Bid, who's just absolutely smitten there, which I can understand that, all that beautiful sunshine and white beaches down at Esperance. So, but
I thought you were
I
my
think
bald
you just,
bookend. I thought you'd agree with me, Harry. I'm disappointed, but sorry.
Okay. And look, I just think that we will survive. We will get through. It's in our nature to survive. We may not come back as what we are today, but we will definitely come back to something, because at the end of the day, we're just a spirit at Earth at the moment having a human experience, and it's that simple.
Out of body experience, Travis. Are you there? Come in, Travis. What
I
have you
can
got?
get the audio. I don't know about the video. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Yay!
We got you.
Hey, it
Okay,
works.
so we asked our audience at home, what question for your sake?
We asked, do you think the human race is headed towards extinction? And
And
42% said yes, and 58% said no.
What a bunch of
great.
fence sitters. Oh my gosh.
thank you,
We
Trev.
need a new audience.
Thank you, Travis.
We do. You know, it's a pretty close statistic, 42 and 58, as sweet
It's
and
pretty
sour
tight.
stats go. Well, it's a bit of a coin toss. And the answer really is, well, maybe we are headed for extinction ultimately, but not yet. But close. Hi, panelists, says Tyrone of Surrey Hills in Victoria. Are they gone? Can they get power again? Are we better poised to fend them off than we were 100 years ago? Is our
Gonna be heavy.
social awareness and education allowing us to see extremists and others when they are coming? And guess who Tyrone is talking about? The Nazis, the communists, the billionaire capitalists. Aren't they privileged to be in that group? The religious nuts, the environmental fanatics.
Nanu.
And
I like the little spot on his head.
And what are threats
Like the
coming
little
from
spot.
outside our nation? Oh, all those nuts were just inside our nation. What are threats coming from outside our nation? Just where are we at the moment? Are we just as vulnerable to predator groups seeking power and control as every nation has been in the past? I'm a little fearful because I know we've become a very complacent nation as we've become more obsessed with our own consumption and so inwardly focused. So do we have real threats coming both from within and without our nation? Am I right? And also thinking we still have threats coming from primitive-minded authoritarian regimes sitting in close proximity to Australia. Who do you reckon they're talking about there? Are we allowed to say China?
Sorry, I didn't quite hear that.
So are they just China is one of our
Okay.
illustrious leaders would say. So are they just an illusion, and in the modern age the threats inside and out are gone and now they're just conversation? Or have we made zero progress in 100 years? As I said, Tyrone of Surrey Hills in Victoria. All right, H, you were last on the first one. You can be first on this one, sir.
I'll just be quick because I just realised an emergency. I'm just about out of power on my phone. Oops.
Good night, Harry. Thanks for joining
That
us.
PowerPoint over there. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Look, Tyrone, what can I say? We're always going to be under threat, but we will survive. These things come in, they come out, they go up, they go down. You know,
Okay, your answer
this
for
is
the
what the
last question?
Yeah.
No.
Let's let her know,
Leave
Harry.
my wife out of it.
I know. I'm with him. I'm
Pause
listening
on
to him.
Harry.
That's it. Gang up on me. That's all right. No, look, I mean,
It
just
wasn't
the
pause
whole
we pressed
authoritarian-
on Harry, it was replay. Sorry, mate. Go on.
Look, I'm a capitalist. What can I say? We're going to survive no matter what. You know, that's it.
Keep
It's
eating, Harry.
it's going to get. We're going to get to the end. That's it. We'll be fine.
Miss Dustbin, Deanna.
Yes. So, look, two things. One, like that question at the end, or the two questions at the end, is it just an illusion, or have we made and it's just a conversation now, or have we made no progress? How about somewhere in the freaking middle, for crying out loud? Those are two extremely broad positions to hold on subject matter. And as Harry pointed out, these things come and go. This is the second point I want to make, right? As humans, we evolve and we change and we become different people. And every time we change, new threats and opportunities arise. So there's always going to be people that spot that stuff and become the billionaire capitalists or the extremists or whatever. And then there'll be other factors of society that are like, I'm over here and I'm doing this. So no, it's not going away. It's part of human nature, but you get to choose which freaking camp you want to be part of, you know?
Exactly.
You're quite mesmerising. I didn't hear a word of what you said. I'm looking at you doing this and that, and you're in there in orange and you look spectacular.
It's the black screen. It's the black screen at the back.
Looks fantastic. Speaking of spectacular looking, you thought I was talking to you.
Well, I just worked out how to
Hang
get
up.
all six of you up, so it's very great.
Oh, we should have done a lesson before this. Hey,
We should have.
my turn. Everyone, come closer. Come closer. Come
And
closer.
listen, the beat of my heart.
You know what Nazis and communists and billionaire capitalists do? They spy. This letter is propaganda from one of the fanatics. That's what it. Don't give any clues about what we think and what we're planning to do to overthrow these Nazis and these billionaire capitalists, because we're on to you. Your leader sent a message down the line and said, stop being nasty, stop taking all the money, stop being naughty, and go and be kind. And that's what your leader said. Toddle off.
Go and be kind. I took the message, go and be kind. And Bid is sitting there like this, listening very
Bid's sort of honing in there. I don't know what is he's sort of looking for something.
All right, everybody, do this. I want to see what it looks like. Come on, close up. Come on. Ooh. Oh, you've got beautiful green eyes. Everybody. Oh, it just must be the zoom thing. Righto, Bid.
Gosh. She missed the spot.
I'm too frightened to answer now. But, look, I agree absolutely with Yvonne, and I particularly agree with Deanna. But to be serious for a moment, I have to say that the far right, which is actually in ascendance around the world, the nationalists are in ascendance around the world. So you have hardline, let's face it, batshit crazy people in the US, in China, in Russia. And they scare me because they want the extreme right wants to tell people what to do. However, the extreme left absolutely nauseates me with its virtually signalling and political correctness, because they want to tell you how to think. So what Deanna said, I think, is absolutely right. Where is the sensible centre? That's where we all want to be. So I don't want to bang on about it. But I do want to say, I don't kid myself that because we've made all of these wonderful improvements that we've improved as people. There's no evidence of that. Spend 10 minutes on Twitter and you'll find out that for all of our advances in science and medicine and agriculture and the things, I'm the biggest tech head on the planet. I love this stuff, but it hasn't made us any kinder or any gentler. So maybe that's the focus we should be.
Do you
And
think
stay
this
in the
period
sensible
Bid
centre.
might
That's
have-
where we live.
Bid, do you think this period where we're all sitting back and we're left to our own heads, it might produce something more meaningful in terms of human relationships? We'll go back to a period that was a little bit better than what it is today, because it's
It seems like I'm going to be the really dumb, boring, sensible-ish one on this show, but there was a wonderful historian on the ABC the other day who studied the so-called, if I may say, Spanish flu. I'm not sure whether we're allowed to call it the Spanish flu anymore, but anyway, that flu, okay. For about 10 minutes afterwards, metaphorically, people were kind of gentler and whatever, and then we reverted to the sort of people we are. I'm sorry, I would love to think that we will all be kinder and gentler, and let's hope some of us are, but no, history's not. History
Can't swim against a big
wave.
wave.
Back that up. Yeah.
Commercialism is a
We
big
are.
wave.
You know, as Mr. Keating said, you know, in a two-horse race, always back self-interest.
Yes, you do, you boo.
Travis,
We've
where are
found
you?
that
Are
people
you
have
still
been a
sitting
lot
in the
more-
background somewhere?
Hey,
Here he
Travis.
comes. Here comes Travis, riding in on his horse. What did we ask our
Travis.
people at home listening?
All right. There we go. He asked, and we asked a really long question this time. We
Okay.
said, looking at history, current and distant, do you feel we have eliminated the prospect of creating an extremist society, e.g. religious, Nazi, fascist, communist, etc.? And 87% said no, 13% said yes.
Okay.
And 42%
Good.
said they didn't understand a word.
Oh, Yvonne, that's a bit hard.
Okay. We haven't eliminated any of the extremists. So 87%, did you say?
87% said no, yes.
That's huge.
Well,
So
they're very sensible people.
yeah,
like,
most
no
people
shit
know
you
that we
haven't
have to keep
eliminated
looking
them.
out, looking over our shoulders.
Of course.
That's it. So we're not going to get stooped. That's good.
Well, we might if we are still looking at our commercial operations while other things are happening. We might get caught short. The next one comes to us from Sydney. Is it New South Wales? Randwick again. Eduardo.
Randwick.
And he says,
Randwick.
didn't the other one come from Randwick as well? There's a lot coming in from Randwick. Yeah. Okay.
Gotta check your
hola.
stars when you're writing these
No,
letters.
Surrey Hills. Surrey Hills.
This one says, hola, hola, sweet and sour. As you might tell, I'm from Brazil. Well, hola is Spanish as well as Portuguese, isn't it? Hola. I've been here for 7 years, paying my way through studies at the Uni of New South Wales for 4 years, and working since then with my working visa as I continue to be working towards becoming an Australian citizen. A lot of working in there. The COVID close down has shown me how people in times of need become terrible and forget others. I've paid every step of my way and have never expected it to be any other way. When the COVID-19 lockdown hit Sydney, airline flights were being cancelled. 2 weeks after this closing down, the Australian Prime Minister made an announcement that he expected me and people with visas like mine to go home. There was no money for people like me caught in lockdown. I was put out of my job, as most people have been. I was put out of my work at the restaurant I work, and I have been living with other non-Australians captured into the same predicament in a shared house, living off money we should have used for rent payments, but now that we are thankful we're thankful we cannot be evicted, so we use the rent money for food. One Aussie workmate who usually earns casually $250 for the week on his small shifts has been paid by the government $750 per week through our employers for doing nothing. I was earning almost $500 a week, but now I'm earning nothing. I'm trying to correct as I go.
I think it's better if you do it in a Brazilian accent, if you don't mind.
I am expected to go home.
Please, please, that would be amazing.
I can't do the Brazilian accent, but I'm expected to go home.
Ouch.
I can't afford the $8,000 one-way fare. I'm stuck and soon to run out of funds completely. How can Australia do this to me? I also realised your government did the same thing to people caught on cruise ships. What am I supposed to do? Please, Eduardo, as we said, from Randwick. Okay. Deanna, what happened?
Hit up your mate who's getting $750 a week to do nothing. Hit him up for a loan, dude, or ask him to pay for your lunch or something like that. I don't know. Like, that's your first protocol. Your second protocol is talk to your local politicians, right? let them know that you're in trouble. This has been an evolving process, this whole idea of who gets money and who gets support and that kind of stuff. When like their first statement covered this many people, and the next like progression of the legislation covered this many people. We don't know what's going to happen. This is an evolving situation and everyone's responding as they can, right? Like consider that you've got to help
Dono
them.
said to them to go home. He's made no provision for them. You think that they don't have any politicians, they're not entitled to vote.
No, I know they're not, right? But they can still talk to local government, right? And let people know what the situation is. But not that I think it's going to change very much anyway. Like realistically, you're here, and if you can't go home, you've got to like stay here, and it is what it is. You've got a house to live in, you've got food, right? You're in a pretty good condition. At least you're not out in the streets. Could be worse.
Bid?
Yeah, look, I agree with a little bit of that. I guess the only ray of sunshine is that really you're in Australia. In Brazil at the moment, there are 100,000 cases, 77,000 deaths in Brazil. So, you know, fortunately you're here. On the other hand, there are 800,000 of you around Australia. We've taken your dough. We've encouraged you to come here. You've propped up our universities. You've come here in good faith, and we've dudded you. So every other state other than New Zealand, I beg your pardon, other than New South Wales at the time of this going to air, had put something in place, some kind of relief for foreign students. And as Deanna, it's an evolving crisis. Stimulus packages, some casual workers have slipped through the net, some sole traders have slipped through the net. It'll get better. And the other piece of sunshine, I think, is that, remember, it only seems like yesterday that the Prime Minister was saying, look, prepare for 6 months at least. And now look where we are. So hang in there. You're probably in the best country in the world in which to face this crisis. It's not all bleak. I'm sorry we've dudded you. But look, you sound like the sort of Aussie citizen we'd like in the future. You're trying to get citizenship. Hang in there. As you hit up your mates, do it.
Harry, am I going to hit the replay button?
Yeah, okay. Look, everybody's basically said it right. I mean, the reality of it is he's in the best country in the world. If he's back in Brazil, he'd be in a very different situation to where he is right now. I would go back to the university and lobby some of the people within the university and see what options are available to you, whether there's any funding or scholarships or anything like that. I also agree with Dan. You need to hit up the guy that's getting $750 a week and doing nothing and in the shared house, whether he can contribute some more, because really you've got one person earning this much money and one person earning this much money, but you're all in the same house. See if he can contribute that little bit more, or set an arrangement up with him where you can borrow some money off him and pay him back in the future when you start getting some money in. But the main thing is that this is a very unusual time. We've never been in this time before. They've absolutely flooded the economy with money. It's going to take us 2 to 3 years to get anywhere remotely back to a point. I truly believe we're not going to go back to where we were before. We're not going to be able to get to that point again. We're also starting to have a bit of a bleed on the banks at the moment, as well, with the amount of money and the amount of money they're trying to chase for people not being able to pay their mortgages. I think we've got some tough times to come up yet for everybody, not just for yourself. Go to your local politician, go to a local university, do something about it. But moaning about it is not going to change the situation, because I still believe, like Bid said, you're in the best country to be, which is in Australia. I'd rather be in Australia than Brazil.
Mega, you going to book a cruise anytime soon?
Oh my God, I would never, ever in a million years go on a cruise. You know me, I would have never gone on a cruise. I need to be able to bail on any situation I'm in at any given moment, and I'm not going to be stuck on a cruise. Now, I've got a different take on this particular predicament, actually, because when you think about it, this Brazilian person said that their workmate, so that person who was working in the same restaurant, was earning $250 a week, but now because of JobKeeper they're getting $750 a week. But this particular person who wrote the letter is getting nothing. Now the knee bone is connected to the thigh bone, blah blah blah. Here's what happens when you allow yourself to be paid cash from your employer, that means that you are not paying taxes, and therefore you cannot put your hand out for any government benefits when it's time. So the fact that you're getting nothing from this employer means that that employer wasn't able to prove that they have employed you for 12 months or more and wasn't able to put you on the JobKeeper scheme. So you've made your little Brazilian barbecue. You're going to have to lie in it. Tough Brazilian tartars. But seriously, I have a way that you could earn your $8,000 for your airfare back to Brazil.
Here we go.
There are a few of us here who possibly could do with some help around the house. Brazilians are really good at dancing. They're really good at cooking, and they're really good at moving. We could put this Brazilian to work.
You're a shocker.
You're good at waxing too, apparently.
All right.
Waxing, okay.
I'll send you over, what's his name, Eduardo's resume and his address very shortly after the meeting.
Send him my
Travis.
address.
Travis, I'll shoot it across. Travis, where are you? What's the wrap
I'm
on this
coming.
one?
Travis.
What did we ask?
I'm hoping coming. There we go. We asked, have Australian policies been selfish in completely disregarding non-Australians living or travelling here during the COVID lockdown?
And
25% said yes, and 75% said no.
no. 75%
Brazilian
obviously
tartars.
aren't Brazilian living here. We've got to wrap and we've got to disappear. Thank you for being on Sweet and Sour, our very first Zoom edition from home. H, thank you for joining us in Melbourne.
My name is Gary and I'm from Brazil.
Esperance, Bid,
Look,
enjoy the sunshine, sir. We're very
I have been
jealous.
wanting to be back doing this for yonks, as you well know. Seriously, thank you so much.
Good on
Thanks,
you, mate.
everyone.
Deanna,
Thanks.
I'll see you at the
Oh,
shop
thank you
tomorrow.
so much. So lovely. It's really, really cool to be back. It's good to see you. It's just great.
Good on you, darling. Mega, thank you for joining us all the way from Melbourne. You're 2 hours ahead of us, so you're ready to go to bed, aren't you?
No, I'm ready to go and get onto Netflix and watch the next couple of episodes of The Last Dance.
Somebody else.
Michael Jordan, yeah?
Yeah.
Not bad. So out of 10, it's a
11.
out of 10, it's a what? It's an 11.
What,
All right,
what are we
10.
scoring? What are we
The
scoring?
Last Dance.
Oh, The Last Dance. Yeah, 11, definitely. This one goes to 11.
Good on you. Thank you,
All right.
everyone. Travis, thank
I
you.
thought we were
providing-
scoring sweet and sour. I thought like at the end of each episode, we have to score ourselves. Okay, that's a 15 out of 10.
Oh, 15. Very generous. Travis, I'll
Well
see
done,
you next
Travis.
week, sir.
Will do.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Travis.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks,
Stay
Travis.
safe. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Good
Guys,
night.
bye.
Bye. This is where we wave.
Sweet and sour,
Bye-bye, everyone.
right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on me, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
How's about some